Hello and welcome to Up the Turnpike, your source for New York Islanders content, both here on YouTube and over on Patreon, where we host our podcast twice a week, plus a dedicated Discord server, plus we got a Friday six-pack, plus we do our Eagles and Duck, which is our winners and losers after every New York Islanders game. So sign up today. That's patreon.com/uptheturnpike. In today's video, we're looking at Ilya Sorokin's contract and how it's going to be a steal very, very soon. Now, some of you might say there isn't a single goalie out there whose contract is a steal. I completely disagree, but maybe that's because I kind of play the position, so maybe I've got a vetted interest in them being paid well, although I'll never get paid for my work. Anyways, Ilya Sorokin is making $8.25 million right now per year for the New York Islanders. It's the first year on his recent contract that he signed just this offseason on July 1st. He signed an 8 years, $66 million deal. Basically the exact same contract that Jeremy Swayman signed over in Boston, right? They squabbled like school children over 2 years, over $2 million through the length of the 8-year contract, which is just ridiculous. But still, Ilya Sorokin signed by $8.25 million, the first year of that deal. And I'm saying that's going to be a hell of a steal as we go through this exercise. And I'm going to prove as to why that's going to be a hell of a steal. Maybe not the biggest steal. I'll get to that one a little bit later. But Ilya Sorokin, $8.25 million by 8 is a heck of a steal. Because when you just look at the elite goalies in the league, which Ilya Sorokin is, he is. That's just not debatable. I know you're going to, well, last year he was garbage. Fair. Last year he was garbage. But it seems like he was hurt. So, understandable. The years where he wasn't hurt, he was elite. And the elite goalies in the league, they get paid. Rightfully so. They're elite for a reason. Sergei Bobrovsky, Vasilevsky, Connor Hellebuyck. If you're to take a poll of what are elite goalies in the NHL, those are some of the names that are going to come up. All of them make more than Ilya Sorokin. 8.5 for the Husky, 9.5 for Vasilevsky, $10 million for Sergei Bobrovsky. We're not counting Carey Price, even though he has a Hart Trophy, which is as elite as it gets for a goalie. But he ain't playing no more, so we're not going to count him. So when you look at Ilya Sorokin, he's already making less than them. And he's locked in for 8 more years at that price point. It's not going to get more expensive for Ilya Sorokin. So great. Already, heck of a deal. But then you consider the guys that are within the same stratosphere as Ilya Sorokin that are going to get paid, and probably going to get paid a lot. Specifically, his friend Igor Shesterkin. Igor Shesterkin right now, as you can see as I'm flipping up the screen here, is getting paid $5.666667 million. Stupid number. Per year on average with the New York Rangers. And this, as you can see, is the final year for Igor Shesterkin. And Shesterkin is, by all accounts, it's a truth, an objective, like a fact, that Igor Shesterkin is an elite goalie in this league. 916, 935, 916, 913, a 932 save percentage. And the goals against average that doesn't go above 2.62. 2.62. That's the highest outside of this current season where he's played 2 friggin' games, which is nothing. That's outstanding. And then in the playoffs, even better. 929, 931, 927. And a GA that does not go above 2.59 outside of 1 game in 1920. He is lights out. And it goes beyond that, even the underlying numbers, if you will. Igor Shesterkin, over the previous 3 seasons, again, not counting this year, has the highest goal saved above average at 7.951. PS Scout, who's just below him right there, Armen Ilya Sorokin. So we know that Igor Shesterkin is an elite goalie, and he's about to get paid. He's in his contract year, and by all accounts, Igor Shesterkin wants that bag of money. Not just a big bag, the biggest bag. He's been reported to say no to an $11 million offer by the New York Rangers because he wants to be the highest paid player on the team. Whether that's necessarily true or not, he clearly wants to be one of the highest paid players on the team. He wants to be somewhere around where Artemi Panarin is, right? If we flip this around and we click on New York Rangers, Artemi Panarin, 11.642857. What are these stupid numbers, New York? God damn, it's so dumb. He wants to be within that stratosphere. And as we saw earlier, rightfully so. He has the numbers to back it up. He definitely does. It's not even debatable. So he's going to get that bag from the Rangers. It's just, how high is that bar for him in terms of the amount of money that the Rangers are going to be giving them, are going to be giving him? It's going to be around $11 million. That's sure. So right there and then makes Ilya Sorokin's contract look outstanding, because you're going to have now another guy making more money than Ilya Sorokin, right? You've already got 4 technically with Carey Price. It's now going to be up to 5 with Igor Shesterkin. But it does not end there. You still have another player in the name of Jake Ottinger who's in the final year of his contract as well. 25 years old, so he's about to make a crap ton of money, specifically with the way he started this year, shutting us out. What a jerk. Final year of his contract, making $4 million a year, which is just a stupid low number considering what he's done in the regular season. So he's got here a 911, 914, 919, and a 905. That was last year's numbers. And a goals against average that does not go above 272, which is fantastic. Those are great numbers. Playoff numbers, maybe not as great outside of this 1 year, but still a 954 and a 181 couldn't get it done. Could not get it done for Dallas, those are stupid goalie numbers. He is, by all accounts, another one of those goalies who is within the Ilya Sorokin stratosphere. Absolutely. And he's going to get paid. Now, how much Dallas gives him remains to be seen. Of course, we haven't been privy to any of the behind-the-scenes talks between Dallas and Jake Ottinger's camp. We also have to remember that it's a no income tax state in Dallas, right? Or in Texas, I should say. So that plays to an advantage at some degree. Going back to the Andrei Vasilevsky contract, right? He's making $9.5 million, but playing in Florida where they don't have a state income tax, right? So that number bumps up maybe a little bit more based off of the amount of money he can pull in. I don't really like playing around with the tax shenaniganery, because I think even the players who are outside of that can play around with investments and stuff, and it's just the tax burden is not as great as it would be otherwise, or as we think it is necessarily. But these are two guys who are going to get a lot of money. They're going to be getting the $9 to $11 million, either of them. And they're worth it. They're absolutely worth it, for sure. So is Ilya Sorokin, which is the point I'm making now. Because after Ottinger signs, now you've got 5 players to 6 players that are above him, making more money than Ilya Sorokin. And Sorokin can play as well, if not better, than both of them. Both of them. It's undisputable. It's undisputable. You look at his numbers with Ilya Sorokin. 918 in 22 games, 925, 924 in a GA that does not go above 2.5, not even 2.4. It doesn't go above 2.4 outside of last year, but injury-plagued season, clearly, it seems. It's clear to me that the second that Shesterkin signs and Ottinger signs sometime in this offseason, that Ilya Sorokin is going to have one of the best goaltending contracts in the league. He's going to be right up there with Jeremy Swayman, assuming Jeremy Swayman continues to do Jeremy Swayman things. Now, you might not have the best goalie contract. I still believe that belongs to UC Saros, who, where can I find UC Saros here? Why can't I find? There he is. UC Saros is about to make $7.7 million. That's going to be his next contract. He's still making 5 this year. And then he jumps into a 8 year, nearly $62 million contract. And this is, by all accounts, within the same stratosphere as Ilya Sorokin. You look at these years, 9, 15, 14, 27. They've got 2 years here where it's not so great at a 906 and a 905, but that's this season. And then goals against average that does not go above 2.7 minus last year, which was still only a 286, which is not horrendous. Goalies are going to have bad years every now and again. The position is voodoo. But you look at the consistency through these years, and UC Saros is clearly one of the elite goalies in the NHL, and he's going to be paid $7.74 million throughout what would arguably would be the rest of his NHL contract. That's the rest of his NHL career at what is 29 years old. Yet another win for Barry Trotz. Like, outstanding stuff. But the whole crux of this is that Ilya Sorokin, who is finally back from injury and looked really, really good in his first game back from injury against the Colorado Avalanche, he's going to have one of the best goalie contracts in the NHL, and that feels pretty damn good. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Unless you haven't yet, then no thank you to you. Hit that subscribe button, and then I will thank you later. Thank you, thank you, thank you.